Welcome to Endless Tales with Katie. Tonight's story is about that first love. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Unspoken Heart. Our story begins with Sabrina and Paul, whose lives were destined to intertwine. Not just as friends, it felt like their souls had known each other for lifetimes. Their journey started in the chaotic halls of middle school, a place where most friendships are few and fleeting. Sabrina was new. She found a quiet corner in the library during lunch, a book her only companion. That's where Paul found her. He didn't say anything to her at first. He just sat at the table closest to her and opened his comic. The silence wasn't awkward. It was comfortable. The next day, he brought 2 juice boxes and 2 cookies. That small gesture, that simple act of sharing, was the first brick laid in the foundation of an unbreakable bond. By high school, they were inseparable. They navigated everything together. Awkward school dances, dressing up in the uncomfortable formal wear, brutal final exams with endless days and sleepless nights studying. And let's not forget the chaotic drama of daily teenage life in high school. Senior year, they had a huge history project. They had to build a diorama of a medieval castle. Sabrina was the architect, meticulously planning every turret, moat, and drawbridge. Their blueprints were meticulous. Paul was the engineer, figuring out how to make a tiny catapult actually launch a piece of rolled-up paper. They spent weeks in Sabrina's garage, surrounded by cardboard, glue, and paint. One night, covered in gray paint, laughing so hard they couldn't breathe. The catapult had accidentally launched a glob of glue onto Paul's forehead. Something shifted. It was a fleeting moment, a spark in the middle of their easy friendship, a hint of something more. A feeling that neither of them were ready to acknowledge. They had both noticed the glances. Those glances that lasted longer than they should, and happening more often. Sabrina and Paul never said anything to each other in fear of ruining the friendship. They would push those feelings deep down inside. Ignoring their feelings, they knew they had college applications to fill out. There was no time to waste. The stress was immense and they couldn't mess it up. Now wasn't the time. They both knew that the time would come. They both dreamed about getting into the same university's prestigious game design program. Endless days and nights were spent perfecting their portfolios. Paul would sketch character concepts, while Sabrina coded intricate gameplay mechanics. They'd proofread each other's essays, offering suggestions. These nights tended to come with endless cups of coffee. The fear of rejection was a constant shadow, but the fear of being separated felt even heavier. What if only one of us gets in? Sabrina whispered one night. Her voice was trembling. Paul took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. His hands were warm and strong, holding hers. We will face it together, just like every boss battle we have ever fought. We are a team, since the first time we met, Paul told her. They submitted their applications with the single shared click, a silent promise hanging in the air. The waiting game had begun, and it was the toughest level they had ever faced. They both felt good and ready to face anything that comes their way. The day came, their letters from New York University. They opened them together. They were both accepted. They'd done it. 4 years of late-night study sessions, dreaming of a life together in New York City. All laid out on the table were maps and newspapers, and for rent ads for apartments. They celebrated, laughed, and planned their future, looking for their brand new apartment. But then his father, the general, came home. The front door opened quickly and quietly. The air turned icy. He held another letter, one from West Point, and this wasn't an invitation, it was a command. "It's your duty, son," he said, his voice like steel. The general wasn't taking no for an answer. The general then told Paul he was already packed. Paul's face was a mask of conflict. His dream versus his duty. The life they'd planned versus the one planned for him. The silence was deafening. Broken only by the sound of Sabrina's shattering heart, Paul couldn't even look at her. They both knew where he was going. He just stood there, torn between the woman he loved and the family he couldn't defy. That night, their shared future became his solitary past. They both looked up at the stars, wishing for a miracle. Sabrina looked out into the night sky when she got home, praying for something she knew was out of reach. If fate allows, he'll come back to her. She will continue their dream of becoming a video game designer. She'll go to their dream college, and she'll be there waiting for the day that he returns. Make sure to come back and find out if Paul returns to Sabrina. Thank you for joining me tonight at Endless Tales with Katie. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun tales.